अगर knowledge चाहिए but podcast consume नहीं करने, तो welcome to the right channel for you. It's TRS Clips. Do you think kids are just more stoned than adults are, naturally speaking?
Sort of. So there are a couple of really fascinating things about kids. So there are a couple of really cool things neurodevelopmentally about kids. The first thing is that what you can learn from kids is that confidence is our baseline state. We are conditioned towards lack of confidence.
Oof.
Right? So a child can make a mistake and they don't feel bad.
That's such a painful quote, man.
It really is. Right? So then you go to school and you got a B, your brother got straight A's. You made a mistake, that's not okay. Right? So we actually condition insecurity. It's not normal.
Oof.
So a lot of what we have to do is remove our conditioning.
This is so painful and so important because one of the hottest topics that I've ever created videos for is this concept of confidence. And I've always looked at it as a skill that can be developed. So my assumption for 10 years of creating content is that everyone starts at 0 and then has to drive it up to 100. And you're saying that the neuroscientific truth is that everyone probably starts near 100 and then goes back down to 0 and then you have to rise back up.
Sort of, right? So I think this is where you have to be a little bit precise. So let's understand what confidence is. Remember we said that narcissism, ego, comes from insecurity, right? So it's a reaction to your insecurity. There's two reactions to it. One is a Rajasic ego and one is a Tamasic ego. I know I'm introducing a couple of things, but Rajasic ego is I'm great. Tamasic ego is I'm pathetic, I'm terrible. So for Ranveer, I told you, I'm such a terrible content creator. I'm a stupid doctor. Right? That's ego too. It's still I am this. I am this. I'm pathetic. I'm great. Both of them start with the same two words, I am. And removing the ego is removing the I am.
What's a sattvic ego?
The ideal sattvic ego is a balance between those two things, but sattvic ego is a lack of ego. Sattva is moving away from ahamkar.
Okay.
Right? So it's just getting rid of it entirely. And then you are what you are. You don't have to say I am.
Okay.
Right? So when someone says I'm smart, like they have to prove it to themselves and you. They're trying to convince you.
Yeah.
But when you know you're smart, I know I'm so smart, and I also know I'm not smart. I know what I am, period. I accept myself for who I am, flaws and all. And that comes across as confident. Even if I'm flawed, I can still be confident. Right? So confidence is like, there are people who've never danced in their life. They can go out on the dance floor. It doesn't mean that they're good at something. This is what really confuses people. This is where I think there's a slight mistake about you have to work yourself up to confidence. No, you don't. Being good at something absolutely requires effort. But tying your identity or your worth to your skill at a thing, that's the problem. Because a child doesn't know how to dance, and they may even know I don't know how to dance, but they'll go on a dance floor and they won't care. There is a difference between a skill and confidence. And I would say confidence is at the opposite end from ego. As you become less egotistical, you become more confident. Right? And I would also say that a lot of people think that confidence comes from success. I don't think so. I think confidence comes from surviving failure.
That is so true and very profound. Confidence and ego are two ends of the same spectrum.
Absolutely.
Oof.
Right? So this was so interesting because I was, when I was faculty at Harvard, I would frequently work with students and stuff there in residence. And here's the really interesting thing. There is more imposter syndrome at Harvard than there is at Tufts, where I went to medical school. So as you go to these really top institutions, there's a lot of imposter syndrome. These kids are the best on the planet, but they're terrified of being insufficient, right? They're like, oh my God, everyone at Harvard is so smart. I'm just normal. I'm just pretending. That's ego. They have an I am statement, right? I'm not smart enough. Everyone else is smart. They're making comparisons. That also is from the ego. And
constantly keeping your consciousness parked in the self.
Absolutely. Not in the self, in your ego.
In your ego.
Yeah. Right? In your ahamkar. They're always thinking their default mode network is active. They're always reflecting about themselves.
Thanks for watching TRS Clips. Make sure to explore the channel. ऐसे ही बहुत सारे clips upload करे हैं. You'll keep working out your brain as you keep exploring the channel.